Okay, I think I'm back. Hopefully this is going to work. Let's try it again. I think I know what I did. I think I closed the window of the broadcast platform I was in. All right, so let's try it again. I want to make sure this is up and running. Let's look at it on my screen. And make sure we are here, and then we will try this again. All right, I think we're good. All right, let's see if we can do this. Okay, so this broadcast was take two. All right, so here we go. Let me go to, let's see, will this work? Boom, oops, gonna go to the screen. So we received a question from Angela, and this is her question right here. Click to expand. All right, so this one didn't work. This is the one that did work. Let's make sure we are going on this screen. Bum, bum, bum. It's tricky to run all these little cameras. Yep, okay, looks like we're good. So we received a question from Angela Treliant on her book. This is her book, Emotional First Aid for Children, and she wanted to be able to, and if you have any, put those questions in if you have them, and we're going to try to not go blank again. I think I just turned off my camera is what I did. So she had this book. She did it in InDesign, and she did the InDesign version first. And so I said, I just illustrated and designed and published this book for a client. Originally, she didn't want a Kindle version. So instead of doing that first, as I usually do, I went ahead and designed it in InDesign. Now she wants it in a format for Kindle. So the question is how to do that. What's the easiest way to do that? So what I do in this second broadcast was thought I would show you how I handle this. And she was very generous and sent over some samples. I'm just going to show you them of her pages. All right. So this would be typical. This is sort of like one of my books. It has illustrations. It has text. It's formatted around things. You'll notice this one, there's tabs and things in here. Something to remember, the Kindle doesn't handle tabs very well, if at all. It just doesn't work on them. So things like this have to be spaces or tabs, or I'm going to show you how I deal with that. Here's another one. You can now wrap text around in a Kindle, so that's cool. That's a new change that's come. And here's the fourth page. All right, so this is great. She sent examples of what the problem is. And you notice there's tabs in here. These are automatic bullets that come. And I never use the automatic bullets. I place every bullet in my books, and usually with a space or a hanging indent. Okay, so let's close that. So that's the question. And so let me show you what I do. So I'll show you, let me come back to my book. It's me, okay. And so I want to just talk about this book. This is an earlier version of my book. I'm now working on a new edition of this book called Self-Publishing Secrets. But the file will be basically the same as I'm going to do it. And in this book, you'll notice I have illustrations and drawings, and I always do, so there they are. I always do the InDesign version first. That's my methodology, and then I make the Kindle version. I get this correct, everything, make this perfect. This is all edited, so when I'm done with this, I know everything is done. That's the way that I work. Not everybody works that way, but that's how I do it. So let me show you that, what I then do. So let me go bring this book up. Now, hopefully this will work. If I move this down, because we're doing the screen, here's the book. Let's see if that works. A little lag time to make sure that we're good. And this is my InDesign file. So this is the new version of the book. It's very similar to the other one, except I'm now updating it and adding all kinds of some new stuff. And I just want to make sure that that's live over here. I'm looking to the side, and I should be getting rid of it. And hopefully. All right, hold on. Let's make sure. Oops, no, it's not right. So I want to go to this. There we go. Okay. Now we're good. You have to keep track of where you are, what you're doing. All right. So you notice in this book, I have, let's just make sure it's up. Please come up. Please come up. There we go. Okay, we're good. So you'll notice I have text, I have graphics. This is an InDesign file. And the way that I design my books is I pretty much put all the text that's in one chapter in one long text file. I work chapter by chapter by chapter. Sometimes I'll break it up inside if there's things that are important, but normally I'll do that. So if you select this copy here and you can drag, you'll notice it drags right through it. If I come to this chapter, it's all one block of text. Okay, so this all just comes one block, one long block of text. Okay, except that this chart right here, I've gone around it because that's been formatted separately, but everything is one block of text. So what I will do is I will go through this book and take out all the text and put it into a Word file. So let me just bring up a Word file, bring up a new Word file, new doc. So just open up a new doc like so, and I will start at the beginning, right here, right at the beginning, and I will copy and paste everything in, all the text. Okay, so this is my text, copy here. I just go through the whole book and copy all the text in. I don't worry so much about size or anything. I just get all the text in. Here's my disclaimer page. Right? I just copy, paste. I just rebuild, put the whole book in here. Once it's all in here, right? So I just kind of go through. I don't do the table of contents because the Kindle Create now has a table of contents, but I just take from this all the way through, just grab it, paste it, grab it, paste it, drop it in the whole book. Just move it over. It doesn't take that long. The second thing I do is I go through and I check all my illustrations. So one of the things that's happened now with the Kindle is that we've always had to have 300 our images have to be 300 dots per inch on the Kindle, and I mean on the KDP for print. Now the Kindle is also 300 dots per inch. So I know now, come back, I know now that all my illustrations are 300 dots per inch. I make sure they're all in a file and they're all numbered kind of in order. So this is number one. I'm going to ignore these things. Sometimes when you're going to ignore some of the stuff, it's just going to be a pain in the neck. I'm not going to worry about fonts and that kind of things. This is going to be number two graphic. I'm not going to bother with these page dividers. It doesn't really fit into the whole Kindle thing. But I'm just going to go through the book, checking to make sure that I have all the illustrations in a folder. So if I just show you that, and they're right here, and there they all are, okay? So each one is in there. I've gone through everything. Anything that's sort of funky, like this, okay? This is a tabbed chart, all right? This will not translate over to a Kindle. So I have to turn this into a graphic. That way. So, and I'm on a Mac. I'm going to use my grab tool, which is in the utilities folder. I love this tool. I use it almost every day for screen grabbing things. There are PC versions. There are different ways to do it. This is the one I use. So I will turn on the grab tool. I've come up here to capture, selection. I will just go around it. All right, so there it is. I'm on a Mac with a high-res screen, so it's 144 dots per inch. I need to make it 300. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to Photoshop. And let's make sure this is going to work. All right, Photoshop, create new. Should be faster this time. Clipboard. So we're going to create that. I'm going to paste it. Paste. And I do this for every graphic if I'd have to. Don't have to for everyone, but if I need to, I do. You'll notice it is 13 inches. All right. If I go to image, size, you'll notice it's 144. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. And it's 13 inches wide. All right. So I need it to be 300. I turn off resampling right here if it's on. And I change this to 300. It's now 6.2. I find 6 inches is actually a really good size to work in a Word file. You don't need giant. In fact, anything that's big that you might have in your InDesign file, I will reduce it down to about 6 inches. That seems to work just perfect, I found on Kindles. So now it's 300 dots per inch. It's 6 inches. I hit OK. I save this file, put it in my folder where everything is in order, and it's Perfect, all right? That'll come in. All right, so you don't need to save that, but get rid of this. Now, another key thing to do is in Kindles, let me see if I can find one here. Just downsize this, is that because it flows, text flows through the book, whether you might be on an iPhone, you might be on a Kindle, you might be on a tablet, you could be on a computer, you could be on your watch, is that if you have captions, so let's find one that has captions. I know I have some in here. Oh, things like lines, this may work or may not work. You might have to do some alterations and change it. So you're going to have, everything may not go over. So you just have to kind of be aware of that. Okay, here's a good example. Whoop, right here. Notice this as a caption. So I will grab this whole thing with the caption. I want to take my captions with my pictures. Don't want to separate them because they will separate themselves on your Kindle. You have the picture on one screen and the caption will be on another screen. So I will grab this using my grab tool or whatever it is you're going to use and grab the whole thing. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, you've gone through your whole book. You've gone through every illustration. It may take some time, but you'll end up with a much better thing. Stuff like this was the key graphic in my book. You know, I have all these little arrows. This is a block of text. I'll screen capture this whole thing. Okay, let's get rid of this. So I'll then come into my Word file. I will size all my copy. Notice it's all up here, different sizes. I'll just come in and make it one size, 12 point, because you're going to reformat this in your Kindle. You're not going to format in the Word file. This is just the file to get to the Kindle. And I will now come in and paste in, insert pictures. You don't want to copy paste. You want to insert pictures from file. I'm just going to grab one like this one and paste them in where they go in the file. So you basically rebuild your book, text and everything. So let me show you the final version. This was the file I used. I did come in here and size some of these up a little bit, but in reality, they're going to get resized when you go to the Kindle. All right. So here is the file ready to go for making my Kindle book out of my self-publishing manual book. Right. All the pictures are in place. Kindles will support color. So you don't have as many levels of heads and all this kind of stuff, but you have color. So that's cool. And color actually works really well. So you can format your heads as color. I will also probably come in here and set up styles on this stuff. The style panel, it's right here. I'm not going to go through them, but you can see right there, I did some of that. So basically just build the book, put images in I need. Remember this one right here. Okay, that's a key. All right. Okay, there's the chart. Remember that chart we talked about? That's now a graphic. Anything that sort of has tabs and things that's tricky, you're going to have to turn them into a graphic. You're going to do your bolds. You're going to do your italics. I put full web addresses in here because the Kindle will support web addresses. So I put the whole things so that it all works smooth and cool. Remember that graphic we did? So there. All right. So that's that. Now I come to my Kindle. Let's find the thing here. Let's close this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that Word file with the pictures in it, all the stuff in it, and I'm going to open Kindle Create. You can get Kindle Create. Just search Kindle Create online. You'll get to the Amazon site. There's a Mac version, a PC version. To download it, it's a absolutely fantastic program, and it's free, and it's fantastic for building books. So now I'm going to open that. There's this little K, and let's open this up. I don't know whether I have any group. What do you do about images that are small but you don't want to make full size? So you just leave them small. Or I'll show you that little book. All right, I'll show you what it is there. So we're going to see that in a minute. Good question. Sometimes you just leave small. It's just small. It is what it is. But you can also wrap text around it. So we'll do that. This is the Kindle Create. You can do a new project. You can do an existing project. So I'm going to just go into the file, and this is the Kindle Create file that I brought in. And it'll come in kind of messy. And you're going to go through it all and reassign things. Notice it doesn't have all the formatting and structure that you had in the original document. It's not going to look like this on your title page, right? It's going to look like this. That's okay because it's on a Kindle. So now you can just go through your book. You'll notice here are the graphics. Everything is in place. The bolds are in place. You're going to build your table of contents, and that's the new thing that's like so cool about the Kindle Create, because it was such a pain to make table of contents in a Kindle. So now, especially on a Mac. So now you just have, you can do insert table of contents right there. All right. I'm not going to go through a whole tutorial about this, but these are my parts. Remember where those illustrations were. All right. So that's this. That's how I turned it into this. Oops, can't see that. Let me go to, hold on a second here. Let me just go to here for a second. Oh, yeah, it's doing the same. Did it do it again? No. Nope. Wrong one. Oh, I know why. Get rid of that. I'm having mechanical issues here. Here we go. Okay, let me just come back to here. So remember in this book, so that head I just showed you, ignore what's going on there. That head I just showed you, key questions, that was this page right here. So instead of doing this, so I can make a graphic of this, I just made it look like this. Okay. These are the chapter heads, and I put a bullet in front of them just to help set it apart a little bit as a chapter head. And you'll notice you just kind of go through. Now, what's cool, remember, Angela, you just asked that question about the sizing. You can now, so there are those graphics, all right? And it looks like I could, oops, bring this up a little bit. We can now change sizes and things. That says full. Things don't go 100%, just to note. Leave that full. Sometimes you just have to accept, I don't know, I'd have to investigate why this worked on one and didn't work on the other, but you can now place new graphics, bring new graphics in. But let me come to where that book was. Here's what I mean about the, you notice if there was a caption with this caption might have jumped to the next page. But this is pretty good, all right? This is pretty good. Let me come to where that book was. Bum, 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 bum. I just want to find it here. There it is. Okay. Now remember I talked about this book, and whoops, go back. It's also sensitive. You can now change. You can add descriptions, which is good for people, screen readers that this book is being read to them, which Kindle books can be read. You can change a small, medium, large, medium, small. It can be centered, flush left, flush right. If I go flush, I don't know why it doesn't go back to its small size. It doesn't always happen, but you'll notice that you can do that. So that's probably what I would do with some of those pictures where you're wrapping text around, is you're going to put them in there in the center, and then you're going to wrap the text around it, and you have some control over it. It's not a one-to-one match, and you just have to kind of accept that. But what you can do is really amazing. These are my chapter heads. You notice I have all these options. I can do things with them, and it's just all in here. All right. So it has all the bolds, italics. This is chapter head. This is your sub-chapter head. They're fixed because they have a few themes right here that you can pick from. So notice you have the modern theme, which is the one I use. You have the classic theme, the Cosmo theme, and the armor theme, which is sort of fancy. What's cool about all of this is that you can preview how your book is going to look. So let's just go to preview. And it will give you, just like you can on a, when you load your book up to Kindle, here's my book on a tablet. All right. Look at that. This looks like excellent. I'm so pleased. To do this any other before in the older ways of doing with this is a pain in the neck. I don't know the HTML ways like some people do. This is just super easy to sort of format, layout. You can do a book, even a complicated book like that, fairly quickly. That's the tablet. Here it is on the phone. And you can just move it right here. Here it is on a Kindle e-reader. All right, and that's gonna be black and white, so that's something to think about. But it's super cool. All right, super cool. The other thing that's so great is you now have your chapter heads become your table of contents. So when you bring the book in rough, Kindle Create tries to figure out what's a chapter head, what's not. It can get really confusing, and you'll notice all this stuff all here on the left are all your chapter heads. It can be really messy. You do have to go through the whole book all the way down, assigning chapter heads. Sometimes it assigns them something else. Sometimes it misses them. You have to go through and do it. But once you're done with it, here's your table of contents. Look at that. This is so like amazing, right? This was such a pain to do on a Mac, and now it's just here. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that cool? So you can go through, you can look at your book, you can format it, you can look at it, you can see what it is. You now can bring images in if you've messed something up. You can get new ones. You can do some formatting, I believe. Let's see, formatting right here. So I can make that text I just selected. I can make it bold, or I can make it italic. I can change its font size. I can make paragraphs. You have indents. So this is sort of what you can do with your tab stuff. Spacing before, space after. Let's put this back to wherever it was supposed to be. Let's say that's 12. Let's find a page with a paragraph. So I can come in here. I can put spacing after it. I push this down, pull this up. I can push it in, like so. Left, right, top, bottom. It's cool, all right? It's very cool. So hopefully, okay, let's see here. Let me get unconfused. Unconfused. There we go, unconfused. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Angela, any other questions? I hope that answers your questions, but that's the path that I do in all of my books. I do the print version first, get everything working the way I want, all the graphics, all the editing, everything done, so it goes to print and it's gone. Then I come back, copy all the text out, put it in a Word file, go through every photograph, make sure they're all in the same folder. I have a number on them, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put them in, and that works. Awesome, really helpful. Thank you. Yes, cool. All right, here, let me just show. There we go. Awesome, helpful. Thank you so much. In fact, this was your previous question. What do you do about the images that are small? Ooh, Baker, good stuff. Angela, there's yay. I'm just going through the comments. So fantastic. So that works. And so that's the process. That's what I do. And I highly recommend the Kindle Create. I just think it has saved me so much time on formatting so many different books and dealing with images and the table of contents. And then when you're done, there's a little publish button. You just hit that publish button, and it makes a KPF file, and that's the file you upload to. In fact, it's right. Let me just pull this out of the way. It's right up here in the upper corner. Publish right there in the upper right corner. Publish right next to the preview button. And that's the story of that. There we go. Hope that helps. Anyways, ciao. Sorry for the first one getting all messed up, but you learn a lot. Every time you do one, you learn more, and especially if you do them back to back to back. And you need a separate cover file. Yes. So same thing as you do on any book. I usually just go back to my original cover that I did in InDesign, and I just make a high-res PDF. And if it's printing sort of like this, is because the file's set up that way. I'll just crop off the back and the spine, and I just have a JPEG. I find 6:9 at 300 dots per inch works great. Whatever you did for your InDesign cover, just chop off the back of it, make it into a JPEG file. You can do it out of the PDF, and that works. That's what I do. It works fine. So that's all good. But yes, you're going to have the interior file, just like print, interior file and cover file, except it'll be these KPF and JPEGs as opposed to PDFs. So that's it. See ya. All right, next time. All right, keep asking those questions. They're great. And I know I have some more questions to kind of do some stuff on. All right, bye-bye.